Hey everybody, Fox 35 Storm Team Meteorologist Laurel Blanchard here with your Wednesday evening forecast. Hope everyone had a wonderful holiday. This is my first weekday back and just hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Hope any travel plans went smoothly and hope you just had a great time with friends and family this holiday. We are really starting to get into December. Hurricane season finally wrapped up. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But weather out there right now is absolutely stunning out there. You can't think of anything better. Sunny and 70. A little bit on the chilly side, I have to admit. This morning I had to throw on the extra layer, but overall it has just been a gorgeous day. Temperatures a couple degrees below average, but we'll slowly start to see those temperatures kind of rebound a little bit. Taking a look as we head through the next couple of days. So overall, we are really just going to be continuing to see some gorgeous weather through at least the rest of the work week. But taking a look start of next week and especially during the weekend, be prepared for a weather roller coaster out there for sure. It is going to be up, down, and sideways when it comes to those temperatures. But we'll get you ready for that as we take a look at your forecast, which is coming up in a little bit. But I do want to start off with our question of the day. Of course, we just had Black Friday, we just had Cyber Monday, and there are already probably about 3 or 4 Amazon packages at my front door. Question of the day today, if you didn't catch it, so sorry about that. We are going to be taking a look at if all of your holiday shopping is done for the day or done for the season. I did something a little bit different this year. I actually started holiday shopping probably back in July and just started kind of picking up things for the past couple of months that I would think would be a decent idea. Good news is that I didn't need to drop a whole bunch of money at once. Bad news is that I forgot that I bought things for certain family members and for certain friends. So I almost double bought for a couple of people. So I guess early birthday gift preparation is what's going to be happening. But question of the day today, write it in the comments. We'll show your comments a little bit later on in the show. What is your holiday shopping looking like after Black Friday and Cyber Monday? Let us know what you think in the comments. And of course, always, if you do have any plans coming up over the next couple of days, definitely let us know. Write it in the comments and we will give you a personalized forecast. Alrighty, so let's get into it. It is just a gorgeous day out there. Can't think of anything better than that of what we're seeing out there right now. So as we do take a look, we are going to be seeing such a gorgeous forecast over the next couple of days. So let's just get right into it. And we're slowly going to be warming up as we head through the next couple of days as well. Taking a look, here's Port Canaveral. Absolutely stunning out there. We can see those clouds high up in the atmosphere. A light breeze. We have kind of that high pressure kind of drifting some air into the region, which is keeping us cool through the day today and a little bit on the breezy side, but not too bad at all. Just an absolutely stunning day. And also, apparently, Port Canaveral, busiest cruise port in the country, which beat out Miami for the first time ever, which was pretty interesting. And that got dropped yesterday. It's a little fun fact for you on this Wednesday. Another look, here's downtown. It has been absolutely stunning out there over the past couple of days. We've had these birds kind of flying by the camera for the past couple of minutes, and it's just been absolutely beautiful to see out there. It's just that perfect weather, sunny and 70. You can't think of anything better than that. So for the rest of the evening, here's what we're looking at. We have temperatures slowly starting to drift back down into the 60s. For the rest of the afternoon, though, you can't think of anything better than this. Just gorgeous sunshine. It is a little bit breezy, so if you do have any dinner plans later on this evening, it might be a little bit on the cooler side, but overall, not too bad out there for sure. Mostly clear skies as we head through the overnight tonight. Now, speaking of the overnight tonight, it is going to be clear and it is going to be chilly. Taking a look outside through the rest of the overnight tonight, as we see those skies clear and that little bit of a breeze coming in from the north continuing to kick in a little bit, those temperatures are going to be chilly out there for sure. We're going to be seeing those temperatures dropping down into the low 50s. Taking a look here in Orlando, lingering throughout the mid 40s, higher up in the I-75 corridor, and lingering right around Gainesville, Ocala. It's going to be beautiful out there, but it's going to be pretty chilly as you are headed out the door tomorrow. So just heads up, if you do have any morning plans, it will be on the cooler side as you start off your Thursday. Speaking of your Thursday, here's what it's looking like out the door. Temperatures starting off on the chilly side, lingering throughout the 50s, not too bad. We're going to be seeing those temperatures slowly start to warm up, and we are going to be seeing a little bit more of those cooler temperatures lingering as we head through the day tomorrow, but not as chilly as what we saw today. good news right there is that we're slowly going to see those temperatures warm up a little bit more, and that's why we're going to be seeing those temperatures just a couple degrees warmer back up into the upper 70s as we take a look at tomorrow afternoon. So very pleasant again, sunny and 70. Little bit less of a breeze of what we're going to be seeing tomorrow, but overall not too bad to wrap up your Wednesday and into your Thursday. So here are your high temperatures of what we're going to be looking at through the day tomorrow. Seeing those temperatures lingering right around the mid-70s, continuing to stick around until about lingering throughout the low 70s along the Space Coast, low 70s as well if you live higher up in the I-75 corridor as we head through the next couple of days. So that's what we're looking at, but storm tracker radar right now, crystal clear, and that's exactly how it's going to stay as we head through the rest of the evening and into the overnight tonight. Very, very pleasant out there, and again, that's what we're just going to continue to hold as we head through the rest of the evening. So not too bad out there for sure. It's once we head into the weekend, little bit of a different story. So it is dry, it is pleasant out there right now. That's how it's going to stay Thursday and Friday. But once we head into the weekend, not so much. So it's going to kind of do a little bit of a flip, and we're going to be seeing the clouds, the humidity come back in on Saturday, maybe a couple scattered showers if you live higher up in the I-75 corridor, Gainesville, Ocala, up to Jacksonville area. Sunday, though, widespread rain. So heads up, if you do have any weekend plans, especially on Sunday, we're going to be seeing those temperatures take a little bit of a dip, but we're going to be seeing those warm, muggy, rainy kind of temperatures as we take a look at the next couple of days. So Monday as well, seeing the humidity kind of still stick around, but then we're going to be on that little bit of a temperature drop as we see kind of the downfall of those temperatures kind of sinking back in. So we have a couple more minutes before we take a quick break. But overall, that's what we're going to be kind of continuing to see. So here's what we're looking at for the next couple of days, and then we'll take a look at your 7-day forecast a little bit later on. High pressure right now taking hold. We see that cooler air kind of being funneled into the region, and then we're going to see some clouds kind of push in, taking a look through Thursday. Thursday looks beautiful. Friday, we're going to be seeing the majority of that rain kind of pass to the north, but it's going to be fairly nice through the next couple of days. Maybe a spot shower by Gainesville, but nothing too crazy as we take a look at the rest of the work week. But you will notice that we start to see some of that warmer air push in. This is quite literally the warm before the cold, and the cold is going to be coming up, taking a look on Monday and into Tuesday. So we're just going to continue to kind of ride this weather roller coaster as we take a look at the next couple of days. So that's what we're looking at for at least the rest of the work week. And then taking a look ahead into next week, this is end of the weekend, start of next week. This is what we could be looking at for rain. So as that cold front pushes through on Sunday, again, Sunday is when we're looking at that 60% rain chance. That's when we could be seeing up to probably about 3.5 inches in areas across Tallahassee, by Jacksonville, down to Orlando. We could be seeing about 1 inch of rain, and boy, do we desperately need that rain for sure. We've been seeing those drought conditions slowly start to get worse and worse over the past couple of weeks, and especially if we flash back to October, areas across Brevard County, Central Lake County got immense flooding. So we're even starting to see those dry conditions start to creep into those areas that got that immense flooding the past couple of weeks. So that's something that we're going to be watching very carefully as we continue kind of through this dry stretch of when we see a cold front move through. We may be seeing a couple of scattered storms, but really no guaranteed rain besides on Sunday. It's kind of in our near future. So we're going to take a break. Coming up in a couple minutes, we are going to be talking with the hurricane hunters, kind of doing a debrief of the season and what the hurricane hunters are doing in their spare time. So stick with us. I'm really excited about this interview. Definitely don't want to miss it. We'll be back in a few minutes. All right, everybody, welcome back. If you haven't answered the question of the day in our comments yet, seeing a couple of people writing in on our Facebook page. It looks like our YouTube page kind of got run over by a press conference that's happening with Governor DeSantis right now. But overall, taking a look on our Facebook page, seeing a couple people write in. If you would like to join in on the conversation, write any plans that you might have to wrap up the work week, headed into the weekend. We'll love to hear those. Also, answer our question of the day. Is all of your holiday shopping done, and did you take advantage of Cyber Monday or Black Friday a couple days ago? So something that I'm interested in, kind of like, what do you do in order to get in the holiday spirit? And also something that I'm also doing this year, I've kind of just been starting off early, kind of picking up a couple of things when I see them, but I'm also doing a lot of handmade gifts this year. I'm doing a lot of crocheting for a lot of family members. But fun fact, if you didn't know, I crochet. So definitely write your answer in the comments if you haven't already. We'll take a look at your comments coming up a little bit later on in the show. A little bit of old news, but definitely some good news for sure. We got through hurricane season unscathed. So quick wrap up, and then I'm really excited to bring in one of the hurricane hunters. We did an interview about what they do kind of in the off season now that hurricane season is over. We'll talk about that in a little bit, so stay tuned. All right, so 13 named storms, that's what we kind of wrapped up the season with. 5 hurricanes, 4 major hurricanes. And so kind of taking a look at the initial forecasts that were made by NOAA and Colorado State University. NOAA's forecast was made back in May. Colorado State University's was in April, and they called for, in their original forecast, these are not their updated forecasts, but their original numbers that they first put out, 13 named storms to 19 named storms. CSU was right in the middle with 17. Hurricanes, 6 to 10. Colorado State University had, again, right in the middle at 9. And then major hurricanes, somewhere between 3 and 5, and that was 4. So with the observed, 13, 4, 5 is what we saw. And 4 of those major hurricanes were Category 5. The only one that wasn't was Imelda. So it was a crazy spread of what we did see with those storms. So Erin, we had that as our first Category 5 of the season. Gabrielle was a Category 4. Umberto was a Category 5, Imelda was a Category 2, Melissa, Category 5. So 3 out of those 4 major hurricanes were Category 5. The only one was the exception was Gabrielle, and that was a Category 4. So that's kind of like what we were really keeping an eye on through this season, because it wasn't necessarily the number of storms that was surprising about this season. It was the intensity of each of those storms that was definitely a little jarring as we took a look with this season overall. So something that we were continuing to kind of watch very closely through this season was the just sheer intensity of these storms, and that's something that we're going to be focusing in on a second. This is it's the second year on record where we've had 3 or more hurricanes, which is absolutely crazy in my mind, how quickly that really picked up and just continued to hold as this season progressed, and why we actually did see this season kind of play out the way that it was, is just this sheer intensity of what we saw with those storms was something that was very jarring to us as we headed through this season. So another thing that was pretty interesting was the path that all these storms took. They kind of stayed out in the Atlantic through the most part. The only storm that made a landfall was Chantal, and Chantal was a tropical storm that made a landfall in South Carolina. So this is the first year in a decade where we have not had a hurricane make landfall. And again, Chantal was a tropical storm, so something that we definitely took into consideration kind of forecasting for this storm, as we saw most of those storms really make that hook or start in the Caribbean and kind of just follow up the East Coast. Couple of headlines that were made this season. Melissa, of course, being the strongest, not only in intensity and in wind speed, the strongest overall landfalling hurricane in the Atlantic on record. Umberto, Imelda, the closest hurricanes, because I don't know if you remember, Imelda and Umberto being much stronger, kind of influenced the path of Imelda, and they were the 2 closest hurricanes on record and in the Atlantic, which again, pretty jarring for sure. And then of course we had Karen. Even though Karen barely lasted 6 to 8 hours, Karen was the northernmost system to form in the Atlantic, which is kind of crazy. And again, Karen only lasted probably about 10 hours at most. This was a very, very short-lived storm, but still in the record book. So 2025, although we got unscathed here in Florida, definitely made some records. And of course, with Melissa, the devastating damage across Jamaica, Cuba, as well as the Bahamas. So now that hurricane season is wrapped up, something really interesting that the hurricane hunters do, of course, they still had a very busy season going into every storm in the Atlantic, but in the off season, when it's not hurricane season, what do? So I'm going to bring in Sophia Del Solo. She's going to kind of go into a little bit of detail about what the hurricane hunters are up to when they're in the off season. All right, take it away.
Okay, folks, we can finally breathe that sigh of relief. We are out of hurricane season, so getting a little bit of a break. But of course, the hurricane hunters are always looking forward to the next year. And we have Flight Director Sophia Del Solo here with us. Sophia, of course, you guys are very busy during hurricane season itself. You guys are taking a look at all the tropic systems that are out in the Atlantic as well as parts of the Pacific as well. So break it down. What are you guys up to in the off season?
This is actually a pretty common question. We hear this quite often. We do stay busy. We have office jobs when we're not flying. Some of the things that we do for our office jobs is ensure that the data we collect throughout the season is meteorologically correct, or that it's legitimate, that the data we collect is good. So that's one of the big things we do as scientists, as meteorologists on the ground. But when we're not on the ground, we also fly other scientific missions. For example, we fly missions for atmospheric rivers. So in the past, we have flown out of Honolulu, Hawaii for several months, making sure that we're basically collecting the same data that we do for hurricanes, but out in the Pacific. We've also flown out of Ireland, again, collecting data in these high wind event storms. So not only do we fly hurricanes, and that's what we're most popular and more famously known for, but we do fly into other weather events as well.
No, that is amazing. Now, is there a place that you've been to that is one of your favorites or a highlight while you're in the off season and not kind of more chasing the hurricanes as opposed to other weather events?
Yeah, I've gotten very familiar with Honolulu, Hawaii. As mentioned, we fly atmospheric rivers out of there, and that's a several-month mission. So I've been stationed out there for the past couple of years for several months. Flying these atmospheric river missions, and it's pretty cool because we're stationed out of Hawaii, but we also kind of tag team with the Air Force hurricane hunters, and they're deployed out of Japan and California as well. So we get a whole scope of the Pacific Ocean while we're out there.
That is amazing. Yeah, you definitely get to travel quite a bit with your position. Now, if you can actually explain a little bit for our viewers, what exactly is an atmospheric river?
Yeah, an atmospheric river is a high precipitation event that originates over the Pacific Ocean. So an atmospheric river brings a lot of rain and snowfall to the western part of the United States. So this includes anywhere from Alaska, Oregon, Washington, and California. And it highly affects their water system there. So having a good precipitation forecast is vital to their water management system. So emergency managers and people in the water management system benefit a lot from these forecasts.
Wow, that is amazing. And of course, even though you guys feel like you're going constantly when we're in hurricane season, and especially in the thick of hurricane season, but you really don't get too much of a break in the off season either. How are you preparing for the next hurricane season to come?
Yeah, so we never stop. Some of the things we also do on the ground is instrument calibration, and our aircraft do get fixed up. We have a great maintenance team that, these hurricanes really take a toll on our aircraft. So our maintenance team is fixing up the aircraft. We have technicians as well that are help calibrate the instruments and fine tune our instrumentation so that we do get the best quality data when the season does come around.
That is amazing. And again, this is Flight Director Sophia Del Solo. Sophia, thank you so much again for joining us, and thank you again for your time.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, welcome back. And again, just some great information coming in from the hurricane hunters, even though hurricane season has come to an end. And again, we were safely unscathed here in Florida. It was such an interesting time kind of figuring out and finding out what they do in the off season. Because even though hurricane season is over, they are not done working whatsoever. And they are going to continue to kind of take a look at those atmospheric rivers and prepare for the next season, taking a look to hurricane season 2026. But for now, we're in the off season. We're kind of breathing that sigh of relief, counting our blessings for sure that we came out unscathed for us here in Florida. So let's focus in on the weather that's going to be happening a little bit closer to home. Get ready for a weather roller coaster. We are going to continue to see those temperatures go up and down over the next couple of days, starting off throughout the mid 70s, continuing to rise up into the low 80s, and then kind of on the downfall as we continue to take a look on Monday. We're going to see those highs in the 60s. So if you're not a fan of the cold, heads up. It might be a little bit chilly taking a look ahead into the start of next week, which means you will definitely need the coat for sure as you are heading out the door on Monday. So early heads up for that. Make sure if you haven't put that winter coat away yet, dig it out. You're going to need it. Same again with the heavier sweaters. You're going to need those as well. So taking a look. Taking high pressure going to be continuing to pull its way into the region. We can see that high pressure as it kind of spins clockwise, it's going to be pulling this cooler air that's currently in parts of New England and the mid-Atlantic down into our area, and that's what's going to keep our temperatures cool and breezy through the rest of the day today. High pressure continues to build in, taking a look at tomorrow as well, and that's what's going to allow our temperatures to warm up a little bit. And we could be seeing a couple of clouds up in Gainesville and Ocala through your Thursday. Majority of the rain staying off to the north as the cold front kind of passes by. But this cold front really going to push in as we take a look on Sunday. Again, Sunday, if you have any plans, heads up. It may be a little on the rainy side out there for sure. So our next big chance of rain, and boy, do we desperately need that rain for sure, is going to be on Sunday. We're looking at a 60% chance of rain. Not a total washout, but definitely probably more of a day that you're going to want to spend inside, because not only is it going to be raining, it's going to be cloudy, it's going to be muggy, it's probably not going to be the best day to spend outside for sure. So heads up for that. Probably not the greatest day to spend outside, but again, we desperately need this rain for sure. Majority of those rain totals going to be pushed up towards the Panhandle. Could be looking at upwards of 3 inches across Tallahassee. Closer to Orlando, Tampa area, maybe about an inch if we're lucky. So that's something that we're going to be keeping an eye on very closely through the next couple of days. Heads up, if you do have any weekend plans, or if you're trying to take advantage of the beautiful weather kind of before the rain kind of sinks in, here's a couple of Christmas plans for you. I don't know if you kind of got the gist, but I love Christmas. Christmas time is my favorite time of year. So if you're looking to get into the holiday spirit, here's what you're looking at. Lake Eola Christmas tree lighting happening this Friday, 5:30 to 9:30. Basically every 30 minutes or so, I believe, the Christmas tree is going to be lit up and it's going to dance to some synchronized lights. So this is something that you're definitely wanting to get downtown for. Again, 5:30 to 9:30. Forecast looks good. We'll be on the cloudy side and it will slowly start to cool down, but you probably will need that extra layer if you are planning on staying, especially for the back half of the event. Also, one of my personal favorites, the Lake Mary holiday in the park. This is one of my favorite events. I take my dog every single year, and it is just such a fun time. They're going to have Santa, they're going to have the Grinch, they're going to have an ice skating rink. So if you don't have any plans and you're in the Seminole County area, Lake Mary holiday in the park, 6 to 9 p.m. It's going to be beautiful out there. Temperatures slowly going to cool down, lingering into the mid 60s by the end of the night, but not too bad. Couple of passing clouds. Will be on the breezy side, but again, a great night if you're looking on to bringing in the holiday spirit. Okay, let's get to the good stuff. Let's bring out your 7-day forecast. Oh, one more that I totally forgot about. Asian Lantern Festival. Again, one of my favorite events during this time of year. I went last year for the first time, and it was just incredible. So if you're looking to do that, it is happening Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Probably pick of the weekend is going to be Friday, but if you are planning on heading there on Saturday, temperatures are going to be very, very mild, even though it is going to be dark outside. So take advantage of the warm weather before the rain kind of moves in Saturday and Sunday. Here is your 7-day. Let me pull this up so you can see it full. There we go. So we're going to be seeing those temperatures continuing to be on the rise throughout the end of the work week, seeing those temperatures slowly rise into the low 80s. And then on Sunday, we get that start of the cold snap. So Sunday, we cool down a little bit. The rain, the clouds kind of bringing our temperatures down ever so slightly. And then Monday is when we see those temperatures continuing to cool down. We're going to go from the temperatures over a 10-degree difference from what we're going to be seeing on Sunday versus Monday. And you can see those overnight lows getting pretty chilly as well. Taking a look Tuesday into Wednesday as high pressure kind of reestablishes back over Florida. That's what's going to be continuing to kind of build in and warm our temperatures up very slowly as we take a look Monday, Tuesday, and into your Wednesday. But overall, we have a nice stretch of weather to Thursday and Friday. Saturday, we're going to see some clouds, not a total washout, but it's going to be beautiful either way. More of that rain and storms, mainly going to be rain, but there could be a couple of thunderstorms kind of nestled in within that rain. Taking a look on Sunday, Monday and Tuesday, things slowly start to get better. So it will be chilly. Again, if you have not put away the winter coat, don't put it away quite yet. Same with the heavier sweaters. You will probably need those on Monday into Tuesday as we see that cooler air settle back into the region, and then we'll slowly start to see that warm up. Taking a look ahead into next week. So that's what we're looking at for the rest of the work week and the start of the weekend. Again, every Friday we ask all the time, what are your weekend plans? Again, we would love to see them. We'll give you a personalized forecast of where you're going, what time you're going. So that's going to be pretty much an every Friday guaranteed question of the day. But again, if you would like us to ask anything in particular, have any plans, have any photos that you would like to share, definitely send them to us. We would love to show them here on stream. Here, I will pull up that email for you. So you can send them to me, you can send them to our storm team, any cool weather photos, any cool activities that you're doing. We would love to see them. So here you can send any photos that you have of cool weather. We got a great photo of a moon halo last night. You can send our photos there. But overall, any photos that you have, you and your family just having fun, a cool weather event, something cool cloud, we would absolutely love to see them. You can send it to fox35stormteam@fox.com or myself, Laurel.Blanchard@fox.com. All right, everybody. I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Hope everyone had a great time with family. And as we kind of get into the holiday season, things are going to get busy, but they're going to get a good busy. So just remember to take a second, enjoy yourself, enjoy the time of year that we're in, and just have a blast for the rest of the year. So we're going to continue to be here each and every day, 3 to 3:30. Be there, be square. We'll be back same time tomorrow. Have a great one.